a hard time with these bonfires.
Yeah.
Not so good for the lungs, you know?
Yeah. Or the smell of the clothes.
Well, first thing we do is this afternoon shut the windows.
Very nice.
The windows. You know, when the kids were young, we had to, go to the bonfires with them, not leave them alone. And it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Evolution.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough. And I have like my weekday tzitzit, and then my place to like, you have to plan the washing of the tzitzit.
Oh, sure, it's not funny. You have to watch everything.
Yeah.
Watch everything.
It's
Yeah. Good, so worry about language. We have to talk about language just a little bit. Like what was all about Rajdi or Shimon Bar Yochai? Very interesting thing. People know Shimon Bar Yochai from the Zohar and all the stories about him. Rabbi Shimon appears in the Mishnah all over the place. It's the same, Rabbi Shimon in the Mishnah is from Shimon Bar Yochai. Most people don't realize that. We think of Rabbi Shimon as some mystic. He's one of the greatest rabbis of his day. He and Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi were students of Rabbi Meir, and the two of them were an essential part of the handing down of the oral law.
I thought they were students of Rabbi Akiva.
Rabbi Meir was a student of Rabbi Akiva. They were students of Rabbi Meir.
Were they around during the whole, I guess this, like the morning period of Lag BaOmer with Rabbi Akiva?
That was before, that was in the days of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Meir was one of the 5 students that Rabbi Akiva taught after his 24,000 passed away.
Wow, okay. Wow.
And for Meir students, there was Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi, put down the Mishnah, and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who was all over the Mishnah, and wrote the Zohar. In other words, the Masorah, the oral tradition of the oral law, went by the two of them. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai happened to be the one that wrote down the mystical part of it. But he was very much part of the giving over of the oral tradition of the halacha. So much so, the Gemara writes that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was so diligent in his studies that he was not required to daven. When the rabbis established 3 times a day for prayer, they did not include someone who studies the way Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai did, which was day and night.
What? So it's for somebody who doesn't learn?
For someone who is just totally learning with non-stop, he doesn't stop for prayer. Just for the Shema, because it's a Torah commandment.
Does that include, like, are there people today who do that? Or like,
There's nobody that learns the way he did. He literally day and night. Literally just non-stop. This idea of mysticism means studying the depths of Torah, including all the secret parts. But it begins with studying the oral law, studying the halacha, and is the next step. It's not something that stands on its own. Furthermore, it's just people. It's hard to imagine. Shimon Bar Yochai didn't have to daven. One would think prayer like he was the one who knew how to pray. I knew that would happen. The man who lives, he called me.
I like they have a different ringtone than what is like the standard. And then
So, of course, the very first thing is that what we're celebrating is the fact that there is no end to the amount of wisdom the Jew can attain. It is there to inspire us to be diligent, to study Torah, and know it begins with the halacha. You master that, you can get all the secrets as well. The human brain was created in a way that it can understand just about anything. We can hold so much information. That we're a bit lazy because, we have our devices to access information. The human brain is capable of holding so much information. Human brain is capable of understanding so much. The second thing is the fact that not only are you capable, but he did it. He actually did it. Now, I'm making a point that there's an order here that you begin with the halacha, you go into the mysticism. So why is it the Tanya, many of the books of the Chassidim, and on the other side of it, the Sefer Nefesh HaChaim, which was written by Rav Chaim of Volozhin, the student of the Gra, they're full of Kabbalah for the everyman. There are certain basic concepts that the Kabbalah teaches that no matter what level you're on, you must appreciate. I'd say that the essence of what the Nefesh HaChaim teaches us is that there's a world, a metaphysical world, meaning that the physical world that we see is really just one little part of it. But everything we do affects all the upper spheres, which ultimately come back again and then affect us. But every mitzvah we do makes things rise up. Every time we do something wrong, we're destroying different aspects of existence. There are real consequences to everything we do, every choice we make. There's a reality to it, and that's why there are so many details to halacha, because it's metaphysics. It's a science. That's one concept that we get from Reb Chaim Volozhin, from the different parts of Kabbalah that he draws from to show, to make that point. The Tanya is trying to get us to understand what we are made of. Most human beings, if they bother thinking about themselves, feel that they're very flaky. Because, we have all sorts of aspirations for greatness, and at the same time, we get pulled down with a desire for wasting time, our laziness. We want to help people, and we're selfish. What are we? Which is true? Comes the Tanya and tells us we're not schizophrenic. We do have two different personalities because there are two parts to us. And he is the one that clearly defines the animal soul and where it comes from. And then the divine soul, which he defines as divinity itself, as godliness, as there's a God inside you. Not a God, God is inside you. These two basic principles have to be appreciated by everybody. It was the Kabbalah that taught us this. So the good books are making sure that we get these basic principles. So for ourselves, don't get spooked out. What you're celebrating is the greatness of Rashbi and the potential that God gave every Jew. We have the ability to study, to know, to remember, to understand the depths all the way up to the secrets of how God runs the world. And what we're really celebrating is the greatness that Hashem gave the Jewish nation, the greatness that He gave the human being, and especially the Jewish nation. And that we have this ability, and that the Jewish nation actually produced people who did it. Rashi being the most famous. And that's the real meaning of the celebration.
We're celebrating his achievement?
We're celebrating who he was, which is really celebrating what the Jewish nation produced and what the Jewish nation is capable of. and the Jewish nation includes ourselves. If you read all the songs that about Yochai, that's what they're doing. They're describing his greatness.
What's the
Yeah,
What-
you gotta read it. It's something.
What's that one called?
What's that?
What's that song called?
There's one line in there that's wow. It reads, Naaseh Adam ne'emar b'shvilecha. When Hashem said, let us make man, he had you in mind. That's what Hashem was thinking of. That's what he wanted every human being to be like.
Could I ask, so what's the concept of the bonfire?
The bonfire, for a yard site, the day that someone passed away, you light a candle. In the case of Bar Yochai, we light a very big candle.
That's like the main.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's an elaborate yard site candle. Yeah.
Could I ask?
Yeah. We also, why such a big one? Because he brought light to the world, meaning the wisdom. Wisdom is called light. And then there's some kind of tradition that he finished it on his dying day, and the sun was going down, and he had to pass away on that day, like Omer, and he wasn't finished yet. So this big light came out. that hasn't been verified.
What about there's like also the bow and arrow?
The bow and arrow, because it says that the rainbow is a sign that Hashem wants to destroy the world but won't do it because of the sign he gave Noach. In the days of Bar Yochai, there were never any rainbows because he was so great that it didn't make a difference how bad anyone would be. The world could not be destroyed in his day. So the bow is the sign of the rainbow.
And the arrow is there.
Yeah.
Why have I not heard about him compared to like Rambam, Rashi, Rush?
He's all before that. He's early. He's in the days of the Mishnah. He's in the days of the Mishnah. The ones you heard about are the later commentaries that gave us understanding of the Mishnah and the Gemara. He is the Mishnah. I mean, he's all over the Mishnah. One of the most popular names in the Mishnah. So when you read a Mishnah, you'll probably run into a Rabbi Shimon.
Speaking about praying 3 times a day, I remember earlier you were very big on actually like going slower and understanding what one is saying. What are some other ways of like advice you have for a Jew if they're not as passionate?
I say that what you should do is spend time during the day talking to Hashem in your own words, sharing with him your feelings about him and your feelings about everything going on in your life and in the world. So you get used to the idea that he's listening to you, he hears it. Then when you open your siddur, you're not going to be doing a ritual, but you remember, oh, he's here again, we can talk to him.
Could the bow?
I'm going to have to take this.